Tell me who you are and how did you get involved in voice acting?
I am Chris. I got into voice acting because I've always loved cartoons and enjoyed watching them growing up and whatever, but separate from cartoons, something I had never really watched before was anime, which I was introduced to way later than anybody else that watches anime. So I found it really interesting because it felt different. Like you could feel the emotion in the characters in the roles, and you could tell that the voice actors just really lived in their roles whenever they were performing. So I had always been interested in voice acting, but getting into anime and story-based games more, I decided I wanted to pursue it as much as I could. I kind of wanted to be that voice for people that connected with on a character level. I wanted to be the same voice for somebody that somebody else was for me. I really enjoy like the storytelling aspect.
What steps did you take to get started at the beginning?
To start, I just did as much research as I could on the internet and, YouTube and everything like that. I looked into what was the best microphone to get, what's the best way to treat a room, everything that goes along with that, and all the money that goes along with it too. I had a full-time job that was able to pay for that kind of stuff. I immediately jumped into pay to plays, which for me was not a good thing to do. But later on, I was able to find Discord servers like Voice Acting Club, where I have auditioned for a couple of original indie films and animations like that. Mostly what I've done has been just small projects and personal things like YouTube videos and other things like that.
What does the audition process look like for you?
I'll say some characters are more nerve-wracking than others, just mostly because I want to do them so badly. It's like, oh, this just looks perfect. I just want to be this character for everybody. I just want to enjoy being in that role. But in other ones, it's like, not that I don't want to be in them as much, but it just feels natural. I don't feel like I have to perform as much and I can just be myself. And it's been enjoyable for me. Definitely nervous in some areas, but definitely more laid back in others.
What are your short term and long term goals with voice acting?
My short-term goals are really just to gain experience and get more comfortable, which I've been using YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram recently, almost like a training field for small character reads and monologues and different kind of performances. But my long-term goal is to record for an anime, whether it's a side character, a main character, whatever. That's really what I'd love to do.
What would it take for you to get to the point where you can achieve your long term goal of working in anime?
I definitely want to get into some more dubbing classes and everything. I've had one-on-one coaching before, but it's not the same as dubbing experience. I know that because you have to go along with the beeps and everything, but I would definitely jump into more of those classes. And I'm not too far from Georgia, so I'd probably drive down there just for some of the in-person classes that they have and everything that goes along with that. And actually getting in a real studio because right now I just record from home. So that would be a more lived in experience, I'd say.
What kind of projects and characters do you enjoy playing the most and auditioning for the most?
Funnily enough, I like to play characters with a struggle. Like, I like someone with a backstory because I think that it adds to the character. If you can get into the headspace of this character that's just had tragedy after tragedy happen to them, and then you can really just put yourself in their shoes and think about what would it be like if I was in that situation, then you can really get closer to your character that way, I feel like. But I also like archetypes that are like, all right, this guy's been given everything that he's ever wanted his entire life, but, now he has to figure out how to do it on his own. I just think those types of characters are cool and fun to play with.
What kinds of things have surprised you about voice acting?
One thing that really surprised me was how many people are in this field and are in the same mindset as me. Like a lot of people have the same passion for characters, shows and movies and stuff, and they're all really ambitious about reaching their goals like I am. And honestly, it was more encouraging than anything to see like that it's not just me going for these things, but there's more people and I can be happy for other people that are in my situation and that are achieving their goals in real time. So it's been nice to be able to watch that.
What kind of equipment are you working with right now? Are those things the same as what you first started with, or has that changed over time?
So I have gone out and purchased a couple hardware processors. Like rather than doing all of the post production, my mic's going directly through something to process all that audio for me. So I have a DBX 166XS and a DBX 286S. So those allow me to negate the after recording editing. And it helps a lot with like commercial reads and different narrations and everything like that. But character reads, I kind of have to shut it off and do it on my own just because it's so different for different parts of it. I also have a MKH 416, which cost a pretty penny. But right now I'm working with a C214 AKG microphone.
How do you balance full-time work with voice acting?
I've been pretty lucky. Most of the people that I've worked with are in different time zones, so they're more available after, 5 o'clock, which is normal end time for the day. But in other situations, like recording for my YouTube channel or anything like that, I've been able to batch record on Sunday evenings and just start editing videos like crazy throughout the week and just trying to get them as perfect as possible before I push them out at my scheduled times. But it's something I'm still trying to learn as I'm just starting the process and something I look forward to perfecting long term.
How do you decide what kind of content to put out on YouTube?
It is hard, but mostly what I do is I just scroll Instagram Reels and see what other people are posting, and I take inspiration from that. I don't want to steal exactly what they're doing just because that's their content, they worked hard to make it. And so what I try to do is I try to come up with my own characters, my own monologues or anything like that, and just kind of get into the mindset of a writer for a little bit just to get some character reads and then be able to put those out for people.
What advice would you give a new voice actor?
When I was doing one-on-one coaching, I was told that the best voice actors aren't perfect, so don't expect yourself to be. And that helped me a lot because it's easy to listen back to myself and overthink every little thing, every breath, every mouth click, everything. So for me, that just helped take my perfectionism down. So that helped me just be able to record and post.
What resources have you found most helpful that you would recommend to beginning voice actors?
So I know everybody says it, but YouTube is your friend, especially in this line of work. You can look up voice acting on YouTube and a whole catalog of people doing the same thing as you, just more publicly, is there. It's inspiring, it's motivating, and it gives you ideas, for what you can do to practice. It gives you ideas for vocal warm-ups, ideas for character reads, just anything. You can use that as just practice material for yourself.
What has it been like for you finding community through voice acting and collaborating with others?
So it's been an interesting little situation. I've gone to Discord, Voice Acting Club specifically, to find people that are in the same mindset as I am. Take the project where you and I met. That was something that really opened the door to meet people in the same mindset as I was and to be able to just bounce things off of each other and to be able to talk about voice acting. And it was refreshing because it was somebody who actually understood what I was going through at the same time. Places like Voice Acting Club and other little forums on Discord that you can go for some community, they have chat places, they have just areas where you could talk to everybody in the industry. So those are great places to go and find community.
Tell me more about private coaching that you've done. Has it been a worthwhile experience that you would recommend to others?
So I would say that it's definitely worth it because, in all honesty, nobody's going to be more real with you than a coach. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They'll give you some of the best constructive criticism you've probably ever received, and they'll teach you skills that would take way longer to figure out on your own. So I'd say it's definitely worth it.
Thank you so much for joining me. That was a great conversation.
My pleasure.